Good evening and salutations, my Days of a Lives fans. Ever since I've been doing four, even sometimes when I used to do three, it takes me a second to be like, which one am I doing now? So, um, I gotta sit there and say that I did actually enjoy this episode. This episode was actually a lot better than yesterday's episode was. Start with Sarah. So Sarah goes through the whole, being hypnotized by Marlena, and she discovers that through her journey and everything like that, before she even went to talk to Abby, um, she got a knock on the door from Rex. So Rex came in, he tried to sit there and shoot his shot, and she was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm with Xander." So first of all, was she took some sleep medication, right? And she decides to get in the covers and go to sleep with her clothes on. I don't know who actually, like, seriously, your day clothes that you're gonna sit there and wear. You're just like, just gonna go to sleep, take a little nap. My clothes still on. I don't know. I can't see myself fully dressed and getting into bed. But anyway, she gets a knock on the door, and she had a bad dream. And then she gets a knock on the door from Rex. And Rex, like I said, wanted to shoot a shot. She was like, "Nah, I'm good." Um, she was already about to get out the door to go and see Abby when she got stopped by Rex. But she wasn't really feeling good. Like, she was feeling like really dizzy and stuff like that between probably the sleep medication and whatever drugs that was in her system. So she wasn't really feeling too good, and Rex was like, "You need to lie down or whatever." So he had her, get some rest or whatever. And apparently, he was there for a couple hours. They confirmed this when Marlena called up Rex. Rex was like, "Yeah, I wanted to make sure she was okay." So I stayed with her for a couple hours, at least until 10 o'clock. So, with that being said, she's clear. And she goes back and she tells Xander. Now, Gwen and her little desperate ass, oh my god, whenever she's trying to slither her way into being with somebody new, like when she was there trying to, seduce Chad, it just, I feel like I'm getting these gross vibes again, you know? These gross vibes again. I remember the last time I felt like that, I just ate too. The last time I felt like that, is it? The last time I felt like that was, I think they was having like New Year's Eve or like Christmas or whatever. Anyway, Chad and Gwen was under the mistletoe. And it was just something that just seemed so, like, she wanted to try to kiss him and everything, and it generally made my skin crawl. Okay? That's not something that I generally feel when I think about a woman, but yeah. And I had that sensation again. When she came over there and she was all like, "Oh, I want to sit there and try to be, Sarah's alibi. And, even if she does get, even if she does go to jail, she could sit there and get out. She can go to, I was going to say Shady Brook, but Bellevue. Um, but she talks about, pardons and everything like that. And, Xander was like, "Well, how'd you get out?" I'm like, then she tells him how she got out. I'm like, why would you? I mean, granted, he'll probably figure it out anyway, but I'm like, Kristen did you a solid. She's not, I didn't understand why she felt the need to sit there and say, yeah, Kristen, she vouched for me or whatever. And I'm like, yo, listen, if you're trying to look in a better light and you're sitting there hanging out and running around with Kristen, you're trying to get back Xander, that was definitely not a good move. Um, anyway, he pretty much kind of kicks her out, and towards the end of the episode, she still has the Sarah mask. Now, here's the thing: it's hard for me to sit there and see Gwen killing her sister. Like, there's a lot of things that she would do, seducing someone, and blaming somebody for miscarriage and stuff like that. Killing, I feel like that takes a certain level of certain level of evil. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I think what probably wound up happening if Gwen did do it, it happened in a struggle. It happened in a struggle. She probably came there. Remember, she was mad about the mug that Abby broke. So she probably came down there, started arguing with Abby, and then one thing led to the next. They were fighting, and, she either ran into the knife or something. But I feel like that's what probably happened if Gwen did it. Because at first, when they showed up Rex, I was like, oh, come on now. We're not going to sit there and try to add him to the list. But, he was there to sit there and exonerate Sarah. So that's good. I mean, because let's be honest, I felt like Sarah was too much of an obvious choice to make. To sit there and say that she did it. Because, she was already having, hallucinations and everything like that. And she kept attacking people that she thought was Christian. But it was just too obvious. Too obvious. And even for at times where you have episodes that aren't really that good, I can't imagine they can actually be that lazy. Not that lazy. Not that lazy. I've seen some lazy writing before, but no. So Kristen and the mad scientist tries to bring back Jake, but there's a couple of problems with that. First, whatever drug that he normally used to bring people back, it was hours between the time of death and him getting to the body. So, he was already like, most likely this drug is not going to work. He tried it, it didn't work. He tried a stronger version of this untested drug that didn't work. So at that point, he was like, yeah, this is not going to happen. She was like, no. Because the whole time she was like, no, I want to sit there and leave with my brother. And I'm not leaving this dungeon until I'm walking out of here with my brother. Now, Rolf is like, no. Here's the thing. You're going to get what you want. It just may be kind of altered. She was like, what do you mean? Yeah, he had the little curtain thing or whatever. Now he had another one, and he showed, Stefano, I think that's his name. Is that his name, Stefano? So showed him with this little thing around his chest. Oh, Jake. This dude is literally, and I hate saying this because it sounds so messed up, even though it's a TV show, that they're going to use him for spare parts. The thing is, they did say that he did have a heartbeat, but he didn't have any brain activity. I don't know if that's going to matter when they transfer whatever parts over to Stefano, because clearly, if they was able to bring him back to life, they would have probably done it a long time ago. That just makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder, was this robbery so random? Was this robbery so random? I mean, it clearly seemed like it was, because this tattoo guy, started off at Brady's pub trying to steal tips. Next thing you know, he tries to take money from Nicole. And then he tries to rob Jake and Ava. 3 robberies. 3 robbery attempts in one day? I mean, I know this is fiction, but after the first attempt, you kind of just lie low. You don't just keep, oh, I'm going to get lucky on this one. Oh, I'm going to get lucky on this one. This dude literally tried to go 3 for 3. Yeah. I don't know. It just made me sit there and think, I was like, was that really so random? But it had to be random because um, he was in jail at the time. He didn't think he was going to get out. What are the odds of him actually getting, I don't know. Something tells me that robbery may not have been so random. I know most like it is, but the conspiracy guy, this conspiracy person in me, just feels like it's just not so random. Ava has a little dream of Jake once again. Um, and obviously it was a dream because she wakes up and it's Gabby. Gabby's knocking at the door. Gabby has the license and everything like that for her to sign. And, Ava's just like, yo, listen, I don't understand. Like, the dude died, literally yesterday. And you're already over there saying that they're trying to secure shares and stuff like that. Like, did this guy mean nothing to you? But, you know, for anyone that was like, oh, I want Jake and Gabby together, it was like, in reality, Gabby only really loved him because she couldn't be with Jake. I mean, she couldn't be with Stefano. So that was literally the next best thing. And it's sad because I feel like on some level he knew that. Yeah, she loved being with him and stuff like that, but she didn't love him for him. I mean, think about this woman. I was thinking about this all day at work. I'm just like, all right, how do we go from the boy? How do we go from you know working on the cars to the boardroom? You know, and he never felt like that was really his true passion. He even said he only did it for Gabby. Like, seriously, you decide to, that this woman in the beginning only wanted to be with you because of your twin brother. And then what are you going to do? You decide that what you generally love doing, you're just like, I'm going to sit there and be in the boardroom because it's my birthright. No, no, no. I want to sit there and do it so I can impress this hot chick over there. Because, I already have the face of my twin dead brother that she's already in love with. I'm going to sit there and take a, seat in the boardroom, just like my dead brother. So, yeah. But yeah, she's like, hey, I only loved him, I only really want to be with him because of, stuff now. So after that, he was like, listen, you're gonna have to spice this up. You're gonna have to spice this whole thing up. I'm not gonna be just sitting there getting little dividend checks here and there. I don't want to sit there taking all the risks. So she's like, yo, listen, I want to board. I want to work at the Merrill. I want to board on the seat. A board. I want a chair on the. Pretty much, I want to sit at the table. Like after the second two reviews, I was like, yeah, I'm actually gonna be able to talk. But yeah, she wants to sweeten the pot because she feels like she's taking more of the risk. And at first Gabby's like, yeah, what are you talking about? But he was like, right now I'm holding on the cards. So you either gonna take this deal or you can kick rocks. But even with her past and everything like that, Ava was like, yo, listen, the Maras, their hands aren't clean either. So find a way to make it work out. And at that point, Gabby was like, I see what I can do, and she leaves. Now, the whole time, EJ and Tony are sitting there strategizing on how to get these shares back and everything. And at some point, I think Tony was like, somebody was like, what are we going to do about Jake's mother? Like, what are we going to sit there and do about her? We got to do something about her. But they also talk about, EJ's like, yo, I don't think that I know this is a rose. I'm just going to sit there and try to prove it. So at some point, EJ goes, because here's the thing. Ava has been trying to sleep for quite a while, and she's just not sleeping well. And every time she gets a glimpse of trying to go to sleep, somebody comes knocking at her door. And now it's EJ. And EJ's like, yo, listen, I know what you're doing is BS, and you need to just sit there and fess up. She's like, hey, listen, I checked the county clerks or whatever, like, there's no record of your certificate. He was like, hey, listen, check again. I was like, what? I'm gonna sit there and check right now. I'm just gonna give him a little call just real quick, just to double confirm. Now it's gonna be crazy at some point when they do get and please tell me if I'm saying his name right in the comment section below. Because I know that all their dads, like, that his name was Stefano. So I just can't imagine them actually naming their son. I mean, one of his sons actually Stefano. It's hard for me to sit there and believe that. I know that sounds kind of crazy because my dad, well, I have the same name as my dad, but I don't know. Like I said, if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, because I've done that before. I've done that before with Gladys and Grace. Now it was Grace It was Grace and Gladys. I literally swapped their names because that's what happens when you watch three soap operas and you start to review three soap operas. So when you add a fourth one in there, pretty much anything can sit there and kind of fly out my mouth. I may just sit there and start calling. At one point, I was gonna call um, the guy who plays Harrison Jason, just because he had on a black jacket and everything like that. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if I'm actually saying his name right. Yeah, I feel like that's about it. I really do feel like that's about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.